So we're here in Limerick, Ireland, to meet one of Palestine Deep Dive's regular contributors. This is Hamza Salha. Hamza's been living in Gaza for the last 2 years throughout the duration of the genocide. And just a few weeks ago, he managed to get to Ireland to seek safety and study a scholarship as a student. Throughout the last couple of years, he's been displaced from Jabalia several times. He was even at one point buried under the rubble. Many of his family members and friends have been killed. And now, finally, he has reached safety. But we'll be finding out more about what life's like adapting to safety here in Ireland, what the future might be like for him, his people, and actually for humanity more generally. Finally.
Finally.
Honestly, when you messaged me, I think it was like the 30th of August, around that time, I didn't believe it, you out.
Like, it's almost a month.
Gosh, you're taller than I expected as well, which is good.
Really? And you're really more handsome than
I'm a short guy. And how have the last few weeks been generally? How are you feeling?
I'm trying to heal myself as much as I can. It's hard to overcome the anxiety.
Yeah.
In a very short time.
Yeah.
It takes time. I'm trying to breathe air, this clean air. I'm trying to drink clean water. Trying to eat food. Trying to gain more weight.
Yeah.
The whole weight that I lost. I think now we gotta go to the milk market.
Okay.
The milk market here it really reminds me of the old Asian city of Gaza. It's been 2 years for the last time that I had any kind of building food. You can imagine people until now in Gaza have never got any kind of building food, just like meat and fish and any kind of this protein, you know? 2 years. It's not a luxury. Body needs it. And it's available. And Gaza overlooks a very wide areas of sea and fish, but the Israelis even are banning them from hunting in the sea.
What was your favorite food in Gaza? What did you eat most?
The only thing that kept us alive is the natural plant that we're growing up. Like, mlokhia is not natural one, but you know, it also saved our life because it's easy to grow. The other one that is khubeza.
Okay.
This is what saved us.
What's khubeza?
Khubeza is just like natural plant. It cooked the same way as mlokhia, so they're similar, you know. Of course, I like kind of meat, chicken.
So there's life here, there's a nice atmosphere. It must remind you of home, I can see why.
It's very nice. It's really nice.
Obviously we're making this video today, we're trying to amplify your voice, and I have ideas of what I think is important. But frankly, that's irrelevant. You know, the whole point of doing this video is to center your voice, your feelings, your perspectives. I remember from one of your first articles, or early articles, when you wrote about how, when you were first displaced from Jabalia, you had been made a refugee for the second time, or your family had been made refugees for the second time. Could you tell me about the first time your family had been made refugees?
Yeah, it was in 1948 when thousands of Palestinians were forcibly evacuated, forcibly ethnically cleansed from our homeland. I came from Barbara, our own village, from there. My grandfather came from Barbara. He was only 10 at that time, with his 2 sisters. And with his father and his mother as well. I think they came on the back of a horse. And when they reached here to Jabalia refugee camp, they were living in a camp for civilians, refugees. Their life was awful. Their life was awful, just exactly like what is happening right now. Little by little, my family has become to grow. My grandfather got married, and by years he gave my grandmother gave birth to my father, and here became or started our journey. My grandfather, he was killed on the 7th of October 2024, a year after a genocide. At that time, we were besieged at home. And for 3 days, it was the third day of the siege. And the tanks were just a few meters away from our residence. And when he passed away, we didn't know how to bury him. Why? Because the graveyard was just 10 meters away from our home. But we couldn't because the tank is really close from the graveyard. So we had to dig in the grave in the ground floor.
What impact did the genocide have on his health?
It was really, his health was pretty much better before the genocide. He was really doing much better, but in the genocide, so many things deteriorated his health. So he witnessed the starvation. This really deteriorated his health so much.
Yeah.
And also the cold itself, and the fire itself. He was using the fire so much. This really damaged his breath and his organs.
So the genocide killed him?
It's a genocide for sure. It's a genocide. So he, by this, will be witnessing 2 Nakbas. Years or 4 years before the genocide, my parents built a building, this 5-story building. It was so nice. It was their lifetime project in order to make sure that their children have a brilliant future. When a genocide came, we could only sit there for a week, and then we moved. When we came back from Gaza City in the February ceasefire, if you remember the 2-month ceasefire, we returned and we found the house like 4 out of 14 fams in the ground stairs, in the ground floor, just demolished. So our home was on the verge of collapse.
From what I understand, at the beginning of the genocide, you were actually buried beneath the rubble at one point.
Yeah. Wow. This was, I think, only 2 months after the genocide. The army was approaching my area, and we had to move to the south, to more central area in Jabalia. My family was still at home, so I had to go to my sister's house. And when I came back, just in the middle of my way, I was waiting for my friend in the ground floor in his house. His 6-story building, lived there almost 66 people, including the president of the Islamic University of Gaza, Sofian Taye. Suddenly, when I was standing under the house, I looked a bit back in this direction, and I saw just the smoke and a wall that is starting to collapse. And I was taking the position of emergency just in case anything happens, just to run, you know. So I could run only for 1 meter before the entire building collapsed on me. Tons of concrete laying on my back and on my legs. I started screaming in pain. And I was only thinking of one thing, that I am going to die slowly now. And then after 20 minutes of being under the rubble, the smoke began to disappear. I took out my hand, started to just say, "Hi, I'm here." And someone came from far and said, "Hey, I saw you, don't worry, we will take you out right now, we will take you out." And he came. All the people of my neighborhood came, started to take out the rubble. It took, I think, 15 minutes for them to take me out. They put me on the ambulances. It was hard for the ambulances to move. They were targeting a lot of ambulances at that time. They put me inside and I asked them about my friend. "Where is my friend Muhammad?" They told me he is martyred. He passed away. He was just next to me like I am and you right now. He was just next to me. I could run 1 meter. This 1 meter kept me alive. He couldn't run. He passed away at the moment. So it's a miracle that I am standing and sitting with you right now, really.
Of course, he's not the only friend of yours to be martyred in this genocide. Another one of our writers, Yusuf Dawas. I've seen videos of you riding horses with him. He was martyred near the beginning of the genocide too.
Yeah, Yusuf Dawas, he was one of We're Not Numbers members. I knew him in We Are Not Numbers. Yusuf was such an ambitious and a dreamer person. And he was a photographer as well, talented photographer. He used to take me a lot of pictures. He was killed along with, I think, most of his family members, but I think his mother and little sister survived. But maybe later on, his little sister was killed again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. He was studying psychology, and even sitting with him is a kind of, you feel you are in a clinic, psychological clinic.
Well, he was analyzing you, was he?
Yeah, he is, and he's always smiling. He was like tender heart, and really, he has a great spirit. I mean, it's like God. He just God took the good ones. May God have mercy on him.
So, something about this is very powerful for me because, early on, there you are, you've been trapped under the rubble, you just about escaped death, literally. And yet, after this, you decide to start writing, you decide to start being a more active journalist. You've written for many articles for Drop Site News, Middle East Eye, Electronic Intifada, Al Jazeera, and The New Arab, and others. But as we know, Israel has been targeting journalists throughout this period. So can you tell me about that? What made you feel like you needed to write? And did you feel fearful as a result of that?
I think even early in the war, in the first 6 months or something, I wasn't writing so much, and I wasn't active, or because I was injured and we were through starvation, and I had no internet and I had no phone. But later, maybe in July 2024, I started. No, I need to restart again. I need to wake up. Some of my friends were supporting me from here. Just wake up. Just write. Try to do your best. I had to write sometimes from the streets using my father's phone, and try to use the hotspot for the SIM cards.
So you're typing articles on your phone, using your father's phone, your hotspots on the roof, sometimes sitting outside in the rubble. This is the environment in which you're doing your journalism.
Yeah, that was the environment, and sometimes it was winter and it was raining, and I had to do so. I had to take my umbrella. I had to sit sometimes around the rubble, around maybe garbage as well, around so many really hard things, and just trying to take the internet from the SIM card as a hotspot.
And of course, you're writing in English as well, your second language, with the hope that whilst hungry, amid bombardment, presumably with the hope that people are going to read your articles and do something.
It was hard to just see all this evil happening around you and to remain silent.
Can you tell me about some of the technology that you witnessed being used against you and your people? You talk about bulldozers, drones. Paint the picture for us.
On the checkpoints, they would scan your face. So the soldiers were basically taking their phones. There was maybe, I don't know what kind of application. They said that they just came to us, told us, look at the camera, and they scanned our face. And what my friend was following and saying, and I was looking at the screen, what is showing up. I was shocked. They're just showing everything related to me. Every picture I once posted on social media. Everything, I don't know, my siblings, all of these pictures. This is technology, yeah. You know, there is a drone that we only discovered in the genocide. The quadcopter is called. This is really so deadly. And only a quadcopter could evacuate entire neighborhoods. It just very small. It could enter your apartment from the window while you are sitting. Just started talking to you, hello, and tell you just stand up, look at me. To look at it has a camera. It will scan your face, and the soldier from the tank is taking control over it. The soldier will start talking to you through it. He will know your ID, and he will start giving you orders. Move, just take off your clothes, go downstairs, move beside the street, or just move to the tank. This is quadcopter from the UK, so it's made in the UK. This is really so scary. This is really so evil. It feels like, what? How come the UK is a part of this? Why are you doing this? The UK is causing all this for us. I mean, until now, like go back in history, Balfour Promise, Nakba, they were the ones who brought the Israelis to our land. But now they are taking part in the genocide as well. I really don't trust anyone. I lost faith in all Western governments and all governments, the Eastern and Western governments. Nobody is with us. I feel so lonely. I feel that all the world is on us. Why? Who are you? Who are we?
Did you hear about plans recently, I think it's even this week again, about Tony Blair?
So putting Tony Blair there is a temporary, they say that is a temporary step for them to rule Gaza. And there is something that we are familiar with. The temporary becomes permanent. So he might become permanent.
Let's not forget Tony Blair is a man responsible for taking the UK alongside George Bush and the US into war in Iraq, which killed 1 million people, totally upturned that country and actually set the Middle East on fire. You know, long now into the future, it will continue to be in turmoil, partly because of his policies. And yet this man has been handpicked, selected somehow to be an interim neutral leader. What on earth has he got to do with that place?
If they would never suggest a not red-handed man to rule Gaza. If he is not red-handed, if he has no history in crimes, if he has no bad and black history, they would never suggested him. What kind of people do you expect them to bring to Gaza? Of course they will bring someone who is a war criminal to complete the role of Benjamin Netanyahu, who is red-handed. Yeah, so it makes sense.
How did you physically get out of Gaza? Can you tell me a bit more about what happened when you got the phone call that you were going to be evacuated, and what did the journey entail?
So basically, first of all, I got a scholarship to study journalism and digital communication at the University of Limerick. After months of waiting, then I got good, brilliant news from the university saying that the embassy is willing to evacuate us. Our journey started by the bus through Rafah. It was so agonizing, and torturing to see our own land, wide areas, demolishment by the Israelis. In the whole Rafah, the only buildings that we could count as standing buildings, even apparently standing buildings, didn't exceed 5. We moved Karm Abu Salim crossing point. Of course, it's under the Israeli control, but we waited there for maybe 2 hours on the Palestinian side. And then security check, moved to the Israeli side.
So at the Israeli side, do you interact with Israeli soldiers? Are you face to face with Israeli soldiers
Yes,
at this
some
point?
of them were there.
How did that feel?
This feels like colonialism. The word colonialism just clicked into my mind. It just hit me. This man is colonizing you. This is the one who is causing you all this misery. If any other student on earth got a scholarship to study, he would have never gone through all this. He would just go to his airport, fly. The next day he will be in the host country that he's going to study at. I don't feel like any other human on earth. I feel like I am dangerous while I am not dangerous. They're making me dangerous.
Tell me about the rest of your journey.
One of the things that I saw, which I've been hearing about since my childhood, and it was really just made my heart keep beating, keep contemplating. I don't believe it. Oh my God, this is what I've been hearing about since my childhood. Oh my God, this is happening. I couldn't believe. It was the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea, it's so beautiful. It's not like the Mediterranean Sea that by the Gaza. It's absolutely different. It's a kind of not moving, I can't imagine how my feeling, for example, would be if I will be visiting Al-Aqsa Mosque now. Wow. For me, the best choice of my life is not to spend my life here, or in the UK, or in America, or in the Maldives, or in the best place in the world. I just dream of living and spending my life in my homeland in the same circumstances, in terms of freedom, in terms of all dignity, as the other world in my homeland.
How is it for you being here? Are you expected to study now? How is that for you? And also, how has it been with other students? Do you tell other students that you're from Gaza? And if you do they understand a bit about what you've been going through? Do you feel understood?
Look, some journalism students have a good looking on what's going on the ground in Gaza. Because they're journalism students and this is their mission, is just to read the news and to know what's going on there. So in my course itself, some of my students would feel what I'm going through and what I have been going through.
In many ways, this would have been perhaps a dream at some point for you to be back in Europe studying for a short time before returning home to Gaza, but yet your family is still living in essentially an environment which is designed to exterminate people. How do you cope living in these two worlds? Is it possible to escape the genocide for you right now, even being here in Ireland?
It's absolutely hard to escape the genocide. I physically get out of Gaza, but mentally I'm still in Gaza, because now I am surviving and I'm feeling the survival guilt, and I feel more duty towards my family and my friends and my people there. I feel more sorry about them because now I am surviving and they are there. So So I feel more duty towards them. I just keep praying for them. I just became more emotional while talking to my friends. I say, God protect you, and this is for real. I'm just I feel so concerned about them because I know exactly what's happening there. It's hellish.
Talk to me a bit about dehumanization. Do you think the West recognizes Palestinians as human beings?
I think Benjamin Netanyahu is a spokesperson of the whole West. And his government is a government for the West. When Benjamin Netanyahu and Yoav Gallant, ex-defense minister of Israel, was saying that they are human animals. So Israel sees us as a human animals, so are the West. Look at us as a human animals. There's nothing to do with the humanity.
Some historians, such as Professor Ilan Pappé, have predicted that this might be the last stand of Zionism, that actually Zionism will get more and more violent as it starts to implode. Do you share that same hope? Do you think that this could be Zionism on the way out?
In general, yes, but this could take years. Between Omar and I here, we had lunch, we had a lot of talks, we had a lot of roaming around the milk market and everything, but it's now for challenge. Let's see how we'll make more bush hops now. Let's go.
Good luck. That's all I can say. You might need it.
Really?
And now we clap.
How many?
Have you started yet?
No, it's hard. It's hard because it's been 2 years of starvation. So
have you started? Well done, man.
Look, I'm still like not working well. So now you will just put 2 push-ups or 3 or 5, not to complete, not to show that I stopped.
A while ago, you wrote a very beautiful short poem about the moon.
This was in the times that I tried to spend time by myself. And the genocide time in general, when I want to escape from my harsh reality, when I want to just or try to look forward to my dream, I try to look at the nature. I go to Gaza Sea, and I start contemplating to the moon. Dear moon, why do you look pale? Why I see you sad? We are all friends, and never have I seen you desperate. You held my secrets. You gave me strength amidst most absurd times. Are you in solidarity with me still? Maybe you are still in the same, but I see everything sad like I feel. Maybe you used to meet me in the north, and that's why you are angry with me. I miss meeting you in the north, ya Habibi. I miss my friends in the north, ya Habibi, and I miss your new neighbors, ya Habibi. Tell me, how is it going with Yahya and Yusuf?